Bro, she's treating you like background noise. Your texts get one-word responses, your calls go to voicemail, your plans get cancelled last minute. And you keep trying harder, sending longer messages, planning bigger gestures, chasing validation like a man starving for water in a desert. But what if I told you, the moment you stop chasing is the moment she starts running toward you? What if the very thing you're afraid to do, walking away, is the one thing that would make her realize what she's about to lose? Today, I'm going to show you how to walk away in a way that flips the entire script. Not out of anger, not out of spite, but from a place of such unshakable self-worth that she can't ignore the gravitational pull of your absence. Because here's the truth most men never learn. Attention is the cheapest currency you can give a woman. But your absence, that's pure gold. Let's break this down. Women are wired to test. It's not malicious. It's biological. She needs to know if you're the kind of man who crumbles under pressure or stands firm in his own worth. Every time she pulls back, every time she goes cold, every time she seems disinterested, she's watching to see if you'll chase, watching to see if you'll panic, watching to see if you'll lose your center. Most men fail this test spectacularly. They double down. They try to logic their way back into her heart. They explain their feelings. They negotiate for affection like it's a business transaction. But you're going to do something different. You're going to become unavailable, not playing games, not being manipulative, but genuinely, authentically unavailable because you've remembered something crucial. You have a life that matters. Here's how you do it. First, you stop initiating contact completely. No good morning texts, no checking in, no how was your day messages. Your phone becomes a tool for your life, not a leash connecting you to her emotional whims. This isn't punishment. This is you reclaiming your energy. Every text you don't send is energy you're investing back into yourself. Every call you don't make is space for you to remember who you were before you started orbiting around her attention. Second, you become genuinely busy, not fake busy, not posting on social media to get her attention, actually busy building something that matters. Hit the gym with purpose. Start that project you've been putting off. Reconnect with friends you've neglected. Learn that skill you've been talking about for months. The key here is authenticity. You're not doing this to make her jealous. You're doing this because a man with options doesn't have time to chase women who aren't chasing back. Third, when she does reach out, and she will, your response is calm, confident, and brief. No paragraphs, no emotional dumps, no explaining why you've been distant. Hey, good to hear from you. I've been busy with some projects. Hope you're doing well. That's it. Warm, but not eager. Friendly, but not available. Present, but not desperate. Here's what's happening in her mind during this process. Initially, she might feel relief. Finally, some space. Finally, he's not being so intense. She can breathe. But then something interesting happens. The silence gets loud. The absence gets heavy. She starts wondering what you're doing, who you're with, why you're not trying to win her back like every other guy would. This is where most men cave. They see her pulling back and think they need to do more, send more messages, try harder, prove their worth. But you're operating from a different framework now. You understand that your worth isn't determined by her response to you. Your worth exists independent of her attention. She starts to feel something she hasn't felt in a while. Uncertainty about your interest. And uncertainty for a woman is magnetic. Suddenly, you're not the predictable guy who's always available. You're not the safe option she can take for granted. You've become a question mark in her mind. And women are naturally curious creatures. They need to solve puzzles. They need to understand what they can't easily categorize. By walking away with dignity, by not chasing, by not explaining yourself, you've become the puzzle she needs to solve. Here's where it gets interesting. She starts to remember your good qualities, the way you made her laugh, the way you listened to her, the way you made her feel safe. When you were always available, these qualities seemed ordinary, background noise, expected. But now, in your absence, they become precious, rare, something she might lose forever if she doesn't act. This is the scarcity principle in action. We want what we can't have. We value what might disappear. But here's the crucial part. You can't fake this. You can't pretend to be unavailable while secretly hoping she'll come back. She'll sense the neediness beneath the performance. Your unavailability has to be real. It has to come from a genuine place of knowing you deserve better than scraps of attention. You deserve someone who's excited to hear from you, someone who makes effort to see you, someone who doesn't make you question your worth. When she does come back, and she likely will, everything has changed. She's no longer the prize you're chasing. She's someone who's realized she might lose something valuable. The dynamic has flipped. She's now in the position of having to prove her interest, having to show effort, having to chase. And you're in the position of power. Not because you're playing games, but because you've remembered your worth. You can choose to engage with her renewed interest or not. You can set the pace. You can decide what kind of treatment you'll accept. This isn't about manipulation. It's about standards. It's about refusing to accept breadcrumbs when you deserve the whole meal. Most men never learn this because they're afraid. Afraid she'll find someone else. Afraid they'll lose their chance. Afraid of being alone. But here's the paradox. The very fear that keeps you chasing is what makes you less attractive. And the courage to walk away is what makes you irresistible. Because walking away sends a message that words never could. I know my worth. I won't settle for less than I deserve. I'm willing to be alone rather than accept poor treatment. And that message, that's the kind of masculine confidence that stops women in their tracks. So let me ask you this. Are you going to keep chasing someone who's running away? Are you going to keep pouring energy into someone who's giving you scraps? Or are you going to remember who you are? Remember what you bring to the table? Remember that your attention is a gift, not a given. The choice is yours. But understand this. The moment you start walking away with dignity is the moment you become the kind of man women chase. Not because you're playing hard to get, but because you are hard to get. You don't win love by losing yourself. You win it by being so grounded in your worth that walking away becomes possible. And sometimes, brother, the most powerful thing you can do is turn around and walk toward your own life. Because a man who knows his worth doesn't beg, he doesn't chase, he doesn't explain, he just walks. And the right woman, she'll run to catch up.